Welcome to Session 1 of the Pure Desire Group Leader Training. Pure Desire groups are created to be a safe place for men and women to process their story, make sense of their experience, and start the healing process. For many of these men and women, this is the first time they've been able to completely be honest and open about their lives and struggles. For this reason, the culture of these groups matters. In Session 1, we'll explore the foundation of the Pure Desire group process. We'll talk through why Pure Desire groups are so necessary. We'll walk through the culture of groups, how change actually happens, and the combination of both the biblical and clinical approaches of Pure Desire groups. These groups are not performance-oriented or even judgment-based. They're not guilting, shaming, or try-harder groups. Pure Desire groups don't emphasize behavior modification. They're solely focused on life transformation. In this first module, Nick Stumbo and Rodney Wright will explore what it looks like to create a culture of grace in Pure Desire groups. Again, these groups are not performance-oriented, judgment-based. There's no guilting, shaming, or trying harder. That's not the focus. We'll see how to create this culture and why creating a safe place is so important.
As you think about leading a Pure Desire group, one key before a group ever meets is to consider how to create a culture of grace. This is true whether you are a church leader, attempting to create this culture church-wide, or simply a group leader that wants to build this foundation. A culture of grace means that someone feels safe and accepted, no matter what they are struggling with. The voice of shame tells us that we are not enough, and that we will be rejected if people know the truth of who we are. And so establishing this culture of grace up front is absolutely essential to a healthy group dynamic. Through faith, Jesus accepts each and every one of us with this grace. He looks beyond our sin, shame, or our behaviors, and he sees the beauty and value of who we truly are, men and women created by him and invited to participate in his love and his life. As we experience this grace so freely from God, we want to be the hands and feet that extend that grace to others. So how do we do that? First, we need to set the tone that this group is for all of us. Every man or woman ever born was created by God as a sexual being, and everyone was born into a fallen world, which means all humans need help to redeem and restore their sexuality. Inadvertently, too many churches or groups make people feel singled out. They announce groups for those who struggle, and of course, no one wants to be in that category. We have to get beyond thinking of this as that group for those people. So as you announce groups or invite people in, think about how you can set the tone that this is a group for all of us, for anyone who wants to gain greater sexual health and integrity. Second, do whatever you can to normalize the conversation. Most of us grew up in environments where sexual things were never discussed in an open, positive manner. As such, it can be difficult for people in church to address this topic. We feel awkward, embarrassed, or maybe even a sense that these things shouldn't be discussed with others. So as leaders, we need to do what we can to normalize these topics. Teaching on healthy sexuality, promoting Pure Desire groups publicly, or sharing testimonies of God's work in someone's journey can help create a new normal. Along these lines, a third step you can take to create a culture of grace is to share your own story. If you're doing this publicly, you obviously want to be thoughtful about what you share in a mixed or larger audience, and you should make sure you have the appropriate permission to share your story. But at a group level, leading with your own story first will take the lid off of the apprehension or hesitancy others will feel. If you can share from your own life with honesty, humility, and directness, others will know it's safe for them to follow suit. A fourth and final step in creating a culture of grace is to celebrate honesty. For most men and women, choosing to be honest in the past has led to a lot of pain, shaming, or condemnation. In this safe space of these groups, we want people to feel celebrated for their choice to face the reality of their situation with bold honesty. So when someone opens up about the truth of their struggle, do everything in your power to respond with words of affirmation and encouragement. Wow, I am so proud of you for the honesty you just displayed. Thank you for being bold. We appreciate you, and we're here to help you walk through this. When we create a culture of grace in our church or group, we have established the foundation needed for healthy groups to truly thrive.
Let's talk about the importance of group. You know, we were made to be in relationship with others because we were made in the image of God, male and female. And God is relational at God's core, Father, Son, and Spirit. What a beautiful relationship. They're mutually submitted one to another. They serve one another. They're open and sharing their life with each other. Intimacy, that's what we're talking about. And in intimacy, we mean knowing and being known. We can become intimate with others in group without being sexual, being able to share our thoughts, our feelings, what behaviors we are giving ourselves to. Now, I believe Jesus modeled this intimacy so well with his 12 disciples. I mean, think about it. They worked together, they served together, they ministered together. They spent 3 years together in community, in group, sharing their story, knowing and being known. Well, we believe that telling our whole story to others in safe community is what leads us to healing. We can't heal alone. Establishing a safe place in our groups is so important. This requires confidentiality, commitment, and consistency. We believe that confidentiality is required. What is said in group is not shared outside of group. This is really important. We will discuss more about this in a training when we look at what we call the memo of understanding that we ask all group members to sign. We believe that commitment to group is required. And let me talk about commitment in a few ways. First of all, commitment to regular attendance. If you're unable to make the group, contact your group leader ahead of time. Let them know you can't make it, but really set the precedence that group attendance is a high priority. Secondly is commitment to complete the homework assignments. This is about 20 or 30 minutes a day. Commitment to honesty. I know that maybe sounds funny, that we would ask people to commit to being honest. But that's so key that we show up and that we're honest about how our week went. And then commitment to accountability. That is making 3 phone calls to group members weekly. Now, we believe that when you have confidentiality and we are keeping up with our commitments, which are attendance, honesty, homework, and phone calls to our group and program work, this consistency highly impacts our healing process. The old adage is true. The program works if you work it. We believe these 3 things help keep our group safe: confidentiality, commitment, and consistency.
When we invite people into honest and vulnerable relationships, powerful things can happen. Allowing people to share their brokenness openly and responding with grace and understanding is a huge first step to life-changing groups. As leaders, we create this safe environment by normalizing that we all need sexual health. We do this through sharing our story, celebrating honesty, and maintaining group guidelines. In the next module, we'll look at how change actually happens and how Pure Desire groups create the opportunity for lasting change.